One quizzical nature on there, as soon as I logged in, is it's asking me to run 10k. That is definitely because I put advanced in the section. Didn't realise it was going to make me that advanced, if I'm honest. Welcome back to the channel, guys. There has been over 1 million people sign up for the London Marathon next year. That is insane. I'm Tom. I'm your resident master degree in biomechanics, sports performance coach, all that fun. I train coaches, I train people to be faster, to be stronger, to be more powerful. And I am going to be looking at Runna App right now. So this is going to be an ongoing series. Every single week, you're going to get a little update, a little bit of a coach's view, a little bit of something, just to identify that there are 1 million, just this race, 1 million people wanting to use something like Runna, a training platform, something in the near, not too distant future. Blows my mind as a coach. If you're a coach watching this and you don't realize the need to upskill your running knowledge, energy system knowledge, gait analysis, strength for running, how much stuff happens. Go look in my group. Like, there's a whole bunch of lectures of how to do all plyometric drills, how to resilient calves, how much force goes through your lower shank when you run. You need to know this stuff. Don't need a chest pick and chest fly day. Right. So without further ado, we have set the task of I'm going to go on a quest to, like I said in a previous video, I'm going to improve my 5K. And I thought this is probably one of the most popular apps out there. And I've heard fantastic things. What I've done is today's video is literally going to walk us through signing up, going through what I did on the sign up, and then week by week, I'm going to look through the coach's eye, give you a little bit of when I'm running. I'm going to analyze my run when I'm running. Absolutely insane. And then get into it. Let's get a show on the road. Okay, so you can go download Runna. I'm not an advocate of it or whatever. Affiliate, that's the one. It's all free. I'm going to be completely unbiased. Okay, so we get this. So what's your goal? Pick a goal that you think suits you best. So I actually went down here. I was like, I think the 5K improvement. Obviously, like, where people are going to be going for different things. So I went for the 5K improvement plan, I believe. What do you rate your running ability? So I think I went for advanced. So you regularly run at least 10K and do some structured training, e.g. intervals. I'd say I'd probably sit between here. I did a lot of like half Ironmans when I'm doing that. Obviously I sit here. I don't regularly run half marathons. That's no chance. But the other one, yeah, cool. I can regularly run 10K and that's what I used to. Confirm your injury history. I didn't write anything here, which maybe I should have. I do have adductor issues sometimes. I do have little hamstring issues sometimes. I do have foot issues sometimes. I say just chop my left leg off. That's all we have to do, really. And your estimated current race time. All right, so I actually went slightly conservative, I think, on this. So currents, that is the most integral part of what that says there. I didn't actually test it post when I was probably in my best shape coming out of my half Ironman when I peaked for that. It's probably when I should have tested my last 5K. I think I came in at around 22 minutes. But what I did is I have selected a conservative 23.5 minutes. So I think I could go and do that kind of now, right? So that's not, look at that one. Don't use an outdated PB time. That is correct. Most people I ever speak to are, I used to do this. All right, that's all very well, but where are you now? How many days per week would you like to run? 0, to be honest, to get my goal. I mean, I went for 4. The reason being, in my coach's brain, I ask for people to run for 4 minimum if they want to get to their target. I think we can get away with 3 sometimes, but it kind of doesn't leave you much wiggle room for specialization, essentially. Basically, we can build bases, we can build endurance, and we can build speed. Those are the 3 things that you're really, really looking at. 3 days lets you do a little bit of each, but it's not that frequent. Think about training like a bodybuilding split. You're then hit chest, and then you're going to hit legs, and then you're going to hit back. 3 times a week, it's not enough stimulus, right? We've got to try and double dose it sometimes. So that is the reason for the 4 days. Which days of the week are you free to run on? I think I just said any, because I think you can move it around once you get into the app. Which days do you want your long runs to be on? It says Saturday. One thing, and you'll probably see this into week 2 or 3, is the golf season has started in the UK. And I think you can see behind me, I'm a golfer. So yeah, when do you start your plan? I think I did it on today. I think I was like, boom, I'm going to go running. I'm motivated. Exactly how it should be. And then I went 12 weeks. That's my idealistic view. When somebody comes to me and wants to run their 10K, a 5K PR or whatever, I'm like, all right, cool. I'd rather have 12 weeks. Then I can run 3 little mesocycles. I can do 3 things essentially and let it take effect. So I went for 12 weeks. Beautiful. Which day do I want? What was that? Which day do I want my 5K race to be on? I just put the first one away. I'm honest. Obviously, that Saturday night is going to be not very wild. If that's the case, I'm running that on that Sunday. So look out for that. All right. And kilometers, 100%. That's why would anybody else do miles? You backward people. What did it say that? So set your training preferences. So I didn't do anything on there. I guess you could have. You can adjust it for injury history, which would be an interesting thing to look at, right? But I didn't put anything because there wasn't anything that I think I need to change, really. Okay. And then what else are you interested in? Lovely. I think I ticked them all because why not? I want to see what the whole app kind of puts into this. All right. This bit I am not going to cover today. You're going to have to come back. I think not next week, but the week after, when I review this, okay? You know my bachelor's degree is S&C. My master's degree is in sports performance in biomechanics. Okay? This is my thing. This is where I think coaches, you're out there, you will be so much better improving your value from this aspect. Mark it now. Your plan is nearly ready. Your estimated current time, blah, 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 blah. That's all the stuff that we just put in. Like the little flame on the shoe. That's very fun. Building your plan. So I'm assuming this is using some sort of AI. It's taking a little bit of my data. It's got a batch of things that it would like just generally hand out from a plan or a structure or wherever it be, preloaded stuff that's going to be like, all right, this advanced trainer, whatever, can handle probably 10Ks. We're going to be putting this much in for a 5K improvement plan, right? Perfect. Welcome, Tom. Blah, blah, blah. 13 weeks out. I'm ready to have you on board. Thank you. Thank you. Hi, Ben.
I'm the head coach here at Runna.
Hey,
Excellent.
I'm Kayla. My name is Colleen Quigley.
I'm a keen marathon runner with a PB of 2 hours and 34 minutes.
I think I got bored of watching that. So we've got a bunch of estimated race times here, hopefully in 13 weeks. This is what it's projecting me to do. So I can look at my Garmin actually right now, and it gives me projected ones. Basically, it's projecting this off these. So I kind of the 5K, I did use basically the same thing on there because that's what it was projecting me at my current level of fitness, which isn't good. I'm going to be totally honest. I've definitely been down there where it's projected me to do 20 minutes, but whatever. Right, on the 10K, the Garmin's telling me 52. This one's saying 50. The half marathon, 2:05 on the Garmin, 1:52 here. This is more realistic. I've ran under 150. I've run like 148 before at the end of my half Ironman. So I would presume I can run a 145. I don't really know, but that was when I was aerobically fit. And marathon, this one's saying 450. This one's saying 3:59. There's a big difference. Anyway, I think I told Ben. Oh no. There we go. Ben couldn't be quiet. Here's a guide to your plan. So these are the types of runs that you kind of do, which is perfect. It's giving me essentially what we would be doing over the next 13 weeks. Very exciting. Time trials, long runs, easy runs, intervals, tempos. I don't think I bother clicking through, but I can explain every single one of them if we want to. All right. So essentially, if you're new here, easy run is exactly that. Heart rate's going to be 125 to 150. Intervals will be short bouts of running. Could be like up to, I don't know. It could be at any kind of distance. For an example, I've done some like 800s, then 400s, then 200s in the meters, or it might be for times, and then you get a kind of bout of recovery. Tempo runs, you run at a certain tempo, which is near your threshold, or you have like a threshold where you start to become anaerobic. That's what you kind of run to, and a percentage of that, you go up and down, up and down, up and down. So you change the tempo of what you're doing, okay? Long runs are exactly that. Usually done at more of a chilled, nearer the easy run kind of pacing, and time trials will be exactly that. You will run as fast as you can for that specific time. I run those with my athletes, particularly 1 miles and 3Ks. So this is inside the app. To be honest, like inside the app, looks really kind of aesthetically pleasing. Good job, Runna. I really like it. I'm going to be honest. I like the interface. I like how it's set out. I like all this business down here. So I'm peering over my mic. Yeah, I quite like the interface of it all, if I'm honest. How the calendar's set up. It's not too dissimilar to the apps that I use for training my clients. It goes straight on here. So I linked up. So yeah, which is cool. And I can add run. I don't know why I do that. So yeah, you can see today's workout. 5.5K easy run. Straight out the bat. Which, as you click through, you get a little bit of spiel. Conversational pace, no faster than 550, which is pretty slow, obviously, to what we're kind of going for. But the whole point of an easy run is it to be easy. You don't want to go above 60% of your heart rate, essentially, somewhere around there. Above that, you're tickling into certain different things. This was interesting. Okay, yeah, I tapped on, let's go see the warm-up, I believe. So we've got like warm-up stretches, which very interesting, 2 minutes 15. I think, obviously, this app is geared at like people starting out. We've got some very chilled out things, hip circles, diagonal leg swings, standing toe taps. This is an area, if you're a coach, that you will be better than it. Okay, you will be, right? It's not going to develop more, I don't think. I can't imagine. Maybe, I don't know. Not develop more nuance in kind of warm-ups. It might do in more advanced settings. I don't know. This is a first glance. Switching from outdoor to treadmill was pretty cool. I've not actually done, right, sneak peek. I'm 2 weeks ahead of this. So I've not actually done anything on the treadmill yet. Then we can go through here. One of the biggest things you will want to do, obviously, will be connect to everything, which is pretty vital. If you have your Garmin, so you connect your watch to it, connect your calendar to it, connect your wearable device, you definitely want to do that. So it throws it straight on there. Okay, Garmin, Coros, that kind of thing. I don't know what Amazfit is. I'm going to Google it after this recording. Let's have a little look at how this is set out. So from a quick glance, it's going to give you pretty much everything that you're going to be going off and doing throughout the next 13 weeks, okay? So building up in mileage, going through this, right? So let's have a little breakdown, cool? So first week, obviously I started on a Thursday, so it's just given me 2 runs to kind of get me going, I guess. One quizzical nature on there, as soon as I logged in, is it's asking me to run 10K. That is definitely because I put advanced in the section. Didn't realize it was going to make me that advanced, if I'm honest. And going off and doing a 10K is pretty tough for a lot of people, okay? If you're just going couch to, it's not geared at a couch to 5K, but it's geared at a lot of people, right? So, and it's obviously, it's going to take your training times into account and anything, but I would probably err on the cautious side when probably pushing out on certain things like this, okay? So yeah, if I were to go again, I'd probably go on the intermediate just to start off, but oh well, it's done now. So, all right, week 2. We've got, obviously, we're not really counting the distance here. It doesn't really matter. It's basically just told me, it's like, all right, you're going to get going and you're going to give you half of what you're doing in the normal first week anyway. So it's not really changing much of the whole volume. So easy runs, long runs. Essentially, we've got the same thing here. I'd imagine if I'd started this the week there, this would actually be my week 1. And I'd probably go for an 8K easy run to start off with, or we'd flip these. Pretty normal for Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, Saturday. In terms of the easy runs, like the spread out, that's fine. 8K, 7K, 5.5K, 10K. I would say it's on the slightly high side. I probably wouldn't be that high, probably around the 25K from starting off point. I think that's quite high for straight in and 4 runs. So I might chop those easy runs down slightly and just have the long run being about 8K. I've actually, when I first introduce people to their 5K running, normally their first and their last run of that week is just 5K because that's all we really need to do. It's just time on feet, and it's usually not going from 0, but especially if somebody's going from 0 who wasn't running that often, jumping that in is quite a lot. In terms of week 2 to week 3, you can kind of see here. So if we analyze this slightly, 10% and just an increase in volume, intervals from tempo, and it's just increase in volume of the long runs, which is sound. And then I believe one of these long runs was like an incremental one, which we'll get into when we're going session by session. So intervals and tempos are slightly different. Then we've got intervals again, and the long run drops. I'm assuming that is because week 4 can either be like a moving week or like that interval session is going to be intense, okay? So I'd imagine that is the case. And then we increase back up a lot more tempo running. So this is where the interesting factor comes in, right? It pretty much interchanges between intervals and tempos week on week, doubles on the intervals and goes through there. So peaking out 38, back down to 28. So yeah, every fourth week we drop in volume and we add a high intensity effort. We can kind of see that now, okay? That's fairly easy to work out. I assume when we drop to these, it's an increase of volume, a little bit low, 3%, 4%, something like that. And I'm assuming for week 12, so we dropped in week 12, we dropped in volume, so 40 down to 34. And then that is clearly race week. Beautiful. We have a complete drop of volume. So that'll be really interesting as we go through to look at all of those workouts individually, and I will explain them to you. I will be going through them all, and we'll be doing that together and seeing if I get to that time, right? The goal is to get to 20. We can see whether I get that or not. I'm going to be running certain things. I'm going to be doing all of the workouts plans if I can. Obviously, life happens. So yeah, come join me on this little experiment. Go make one yourself right now. Go sign up, use Runna. I think it's like 20 quid a month. It's not too bad. And we can move forward together. You can give me your justification of why you're doing this. Okay. So current thoughts. Volume looks reasonably high from the off. Perhaps a build up would have been a little bit better. I think it would be interesting to see whether it understands based off what I do. So there will be very different scorings on basically if I hit my targets during tempo runs to interval runs. And I will leave you to realize, or maybe in the next video, where I will explain which one I am genetically better at than the other, okay? And whether this learns it as we go along. That's what I'm most interested in. I think the running will be good. I think the volume probably is okay. I think the pacings are pretty much easy to guide. Will it manipulate if I don't hit my pacing? Will it manipulate it if my heart rate is not on point and within the zones that we're trying to train in? And what the hell will the strength training look like? Because I'm a little bit worried by looking at that warm up, if I'm honest. But I like the app. All right, thanks guys. If you've got any comments, if you're doing anything like this and you would like some help, then please comment down below. I will answer every single one of you. Some little things, if you're a coach and wanting to get into coaching some running and stuff like that in the gym, then let me know. There might be something I can send you. All right, until next week. See you in a bit.